Knicks post game live. Knicks go down 132-106 to the Raptors. Let's talk about it. Post game live. It's your boy CP, the NY Fanatic, representing KnicksFanTV. I got my man Jay Ellis on the other side, representing the Nick of Time show. Beautiful Sunday in New York. Perfect weather. March is upon us. March Madness coming up. It's a great time for basketball. Obviously, for the Knicks, we in a different place right now. But it's all good, man. Right now at this time of year, it's like, all right, you don't really, expect to win these games against, one of the best teams in the East and the Raptors. But like I said, with every game from here on out, you want to see some positive signs. You want to see the youngsters, some of the guys we called up. You want to see the rookies that we drafted with Frank. You want to see some of the G League guys with Trey Burke, Luke Kornet, Dotson. You want to see those guys play. The coach is also being evaluated. You know what I mean? You want to see how these players are responding to the coach. What type of adjustments is he making in game? So, that's how I tend to look at these games, win or lose. Obviously, the tank is rolling, so let's keep that rolling. But you want to see some competitive basketball at the same time. So, Jay Ellis, 132-106 loss. I'm going to kick it over to you, man. What'd you see out there today?
Yo, today, I saw some competitiveness at the half, but it's kind of like the typical Knicks. We show up in the first half, and the second half, it kind of falters. It was exciting, though. It was some exciting basketball that happened. As you guys know, Enes Kanter was out today. He had back spasms, and so was Lance was out also today. So in Enes Kanter's spot, we have a Kornet sighting. So Kornet came in and kind of did his thing, and he caused a little bit of havoc. He stretched the floor a little bit. He had 18 points. The rebounding leaves us to desire, but I like some things that I saw from Kornet trying to do his best baby unicorn impression. So I like that. Also, Moutier had some things going on for him. For the past 2 games, I've seen a change in Moutier. He seems like he's picking his spots on the offense a lot better. That third quarter, when we have that lackluster offense, he seems like he's coming on a lot more in the third quarter. And he went on a nice little run. So I'm liking what I'm seeing from Moutier, at least this game. A nice change from the past road trip that kind of plagued him. So I like that. Also, Hardaway is Hardaway, man. What can you say? Hardaway is Hardaway. It's the tale of two Hardaways. There's the evil Hardaway and the good Hardaway. And sometimes he gets so hopped up, he gets in his own head, and you like it sometimes when he gets competitive, but also sometimes that results in the patented Tim Hardaway quick shot. You know what I'm saying? Where he just runs to the 3-point line, shoots up a quick shot just to keep the momentum going, and it doesn't always work for us. But that's a lot of what I saw. What did you see out there today, man?
Facts. Well, I think first and foremost, I think it was a tale of two halves, right? I think the first half, we came out fired up. We came out with some energy. We came out with some passion. And, you like to see that defensively. I thought we was able to stick with them. I don't know if that's, the result of a Sunday matinee game or, we was really putting the pressure on them. But either way, we was able to keep it close in the first half. So I definitely like that fight. Second half, obviously, we, the doors got blown off. You know what I'm saying? They ended up finishing, the Raptors ended up finishing 50% from three-point land. Three-point defense is our Achilles heel. Couldn't keep these guys off the perimeter. Van Fleet, forget his name. Well, Lowry ended up coming alive in the second half. So, you knew they was going to turn it up and wake up eventually.
Yeah.
And that's ultimately what happened. Second, the youth. Kornet gets his first start today. I like what I saw from the kid. Again, you don't get too high, you don't get too low, but I think he's capable. He's shown to be more than capable of handling himself in the big leagues. I thought on both ends he was aggressive, especially in the first to start the game off. Finishes with 18 points, 4 rebounds, 2 dimes. I mean, 34 minutes, and you got to guard Valanciunas and battle with Ibaka. I thought the kid held his own out there for sure. I definitely thought the kid held his own. Thirdly, like to touch on what you said, Timmy. I think the thing with Timmy that I like to see and that we've seen over the past 2 games is kind of he's a bit more poised in terms of, you know, how he moves out there. You know, he's not he hasn't really been with the wild shots and the chucking. I think Timmy's really trying to take on a leadership role with this team. I think, you know, he said it. You've seen a lot of quotes from him. You know, we're not tanking. We're playing hard for the coach. You know, I'm trying to teach these young guys, even though he's a young guy himself. But, you know, he considers himself a veteran still on this team, at least.
Yeah,
and I think we're seeing Timmy trying to establish himself as a leader on this team, which is not a bad thing going forward. You know, he finished with 25 points, 4 rebounds, 2 dimes. You know, it was a Timmy type of game. You know what I'm saying? I thought he fought hard out there.
That's all you can really ask for. I know a lot of people look down on Timmy, for real. But I mean, he's not the number one option right now. What we gotta hope for Timmy is we gotta just hope he kind of develops into something more next season and grows into himself and pick his spots. Right now, he is the leader of this young crew right now, and I like that he's challenging the young guys to keep that intensity. We fought out there today. The thing is, we're the worst 3-point team in the league, pretty much.
3-point defense, yeah.
3-point defensive team, yes.
Hell yeah.
And we're going up against a Raptors team who likes to push the pace and run to the 3-point line. And even on the head fakes, they don't head fake and drive. They head fake and sidestep and then shoot another 3. So we had a really, really hard time trying to keep up the rotations today, and it showed it. And with that crazy end score game, but it's to be expected.
Yeah,
it's really to be expected, pretty much. It seems like this team, we kind of have to at least like keep the pressure on them by scoring with them. And we wasn't able to.
No, we can't do that. We can't.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? We need some more firepower. But back to the youth. Were you surprised? I was surprised. I don't know about you, but I was surprised that even though Kornet, you know, got the start, we saw Hicks get in early in the first half. I was surprised my man Troy Williams, the high flyer, and Dotson didn't get in until trash time. What'd you think about that?
I was upset, man. Like, I've been on my free Dot thing for a while. Because, you know, I feel like Dot is somebody who needs to be developed. Courtney Lee, as much as I really, really love Courtney Lee, I love what he does for this team. He's a consummate veteran, and he's just your professional's professional. And he hits the threes, but we need to develop the young guys now. We're not developing Courtney Lee for the future. So we really need to actually develop Dotson. And to me, it's baffling that Troy Williams will have his best season, his best game as a Knick, the last game, and don't see any burn until the fourth quarter or something?
Fourth quarter. He was so anxious. He had to bash on somebody, man. He dunked on somebody.
Just cuz, man.
Just cuz. You know what I mean? I like Troy Williams, man. This dude's he's got bunnies for days.
For days, man. And now I'm starting to expect that he plays that passing lane and gets a steal every game, man. Every game he just anticipates the pass and picks it off and goes in for a dunk. That's what he does. And he seems to find a way to get easy baskets just resting on his athleticism. So I'm kind of perplexed. Is perplexed the word? Perplexed that coach didn't play Troy Williams today. Or maybe he was trying to go for the Westchester Knicks lineup in the first half, because there was a lineup where we had Trey Burke, we had Kornet, and we had Hicks at the same time. So I don't know. What was it? Maybe Hicks was taking some of his minutes?
I guess. But I mean, Hicks, you know, he's not doing it for me right now. We'll see what happens as he goes into camp next year. But I thought that, you know, we only went 9 deep. Well, we went 9 deep in the first half. I thought Coach probably was going with, you know, his hot hands with a solid rotation, trying to see if he could steal one. But I mean, as the game got out of hand, especially mid to late third quarter, I was expecting to see Troy Williams, maybe even to come in for some defense, try to keep the game at bay. And but you know, it just didn't happen. So maybe next game against the Raptors, we'll see the young guys get in there a bit more.
Yeah, man, I really hope so. I really hope to see the coach actually do the right thing. But you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, Courtney Lee, because condolences to Courtney Lee. He lost somebody in his family. Courtney Lee's
Yeah,
return probably.
Yeah,
he lost his father. Courtney Lee's return probably had a lot to do with Dotson not getting burned and Troy Williams not getting burned. So now that I really think about it, Courtney Lee and probably Hicks too.
Probably.
But I really need to see more of these guys.
Yeah.
Also, my guy, man, I gotta give it up to I know a lot of people are down on Frank Ntilikina, but I'm starting to see from week to week what can be in the future, and I'm a little excited, man. I'm excited.
Well, I mean, at the very least, like I say, you like to see his defense out there. At the very least, he's still struggling with his decision making, but I think that will come over time. But I think so far, I think he's starting to get comfortable a little bit more. We got to give him time, man. That's just what it is, We just got to give him time.
Yeah, today I saw he's been a little more aggressive going to the hole. He made like a few layups today. Just off the move, off the dribble. He made some kind of nice moves off the dribble. I'm like, all right, Frank. And now you just need to get more confident in that mid-range game. The mid-range game is touch and go. It's funny because I feel like in the beginning of the season, the mid-range game was a little more solid. But now he's going to the basket a little bit more. You just need to put them both together now, and we'll be all right.
Facts.
Frank will be all right. And give Moutier some tips on defense. And Hardaway, too.
Yeah. True indeed, man. True indeed. All right, let's get to the box score, man. And let's start with our guy, Luke Kornet. So we finished with 18 points, 1 block, 1 steal, 2 dimes, 4 boards, minus 13 on the night. But I mean, listen, once that third quarter, fourth quarter got into it, everybody was on the minus side of things. What would you rate Kornet tonight from 1 to 10 in his rookie start? His debut rookie start.
Man, Kornet. Listen, man, Kornet. He showed some heart out there. He did what he could. He still has some. Valanciunas kind of ate him up, but Valanciunas eats a lot of people up.
Yeah. It's a tough matchup for your first start, man. Tough matchup for his first start. So
right. What I like about Kornet though, he's not afraid. Even when he misses,
right,
he shoots it.
Right.
I like it. So you know what? I'm going to give Kornet a solid. I'm gonna give him a solid 7.
7. Yeah, I'll give him a 7. I think that's fair. Like I said, I think he battled out there for sure. That's what you want to see out of him for his first start. He like you said, the aggressiveness is there, and that's a good sign for the future. He certainly has the tools. He has a good jump shot. He's 7 feet tall. He's not afraid to mix it up. Not afraid to get in there and bang on the boards. Not afraid to stretch the floor. So I like this kid, man. I want to see what the future looks like with this kid in the rotation going forward.
I feel like he's the reason why Willie's not here today, man. To tell you the truth.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I think
you're definitely right on that. I mean, I think between KO, between Billy, between Kornet, being developed in the G League as somebody who has a bit better arsenal right now than Billy in today's game. And then I think when you factor that in with the Canner trade, it's a lot of guys. It's a lot of guys in the front court, and everybody's not gonna get burned. So they shipped him off to Charlotte. I have no issues with it. Obviously, I liked him from last year, but I think we have some pieces that'll make him replaceable. So I give him a 7. Beasley today, 10 points, 11 boards, double from the walk-in bucket. Minus 12 on the night, obviously, in 30 minutes. I saw a lot of people across the Twitter sphere saying, Beasley probably should have gotten a bit less minutes in room for Troy Williams and Dotson. But how would you rate Beasley today?
Oh, man. Beasley, I felt like he did the first half was his shooting was decent. What was his turnovers looking like today? He had 2 turnovers, negative 12. His help, a lot of Beasley's problem I feel like was helping off that corner 3. You have to be sharp, and help defense is probably Beasley's Achilles heel.
Yeah.
He's more of a one-on-one defensive guy, so when you have to kind of help off and recover to your guy, that's not a good look. So that's probably where Beasley kind of fell for me today. So I'm gonna give Beasley like I don't know, 5 or 6.
I'll give him a 5. I give him a 5. I think since the day he was talking about the team being selfish and things like that, I expected him to take a step up. You know, me and you have talked about this at length. I think for a guy that's going into his contract year, not going into, but in his contract year, fighting for a new contract and fighting for some stability finally after, tumultuous career so far in the league. I think this is a perfect opportunity for him to assert himself on this team in more ways than one. And I think, like I said, I don't know if it's mentally or physically. I think he's disappointed me in terms of my expectations of what someone in his stature would be doing at this point in the season. But, that's just my take on Beasley.
Yeah, well, my take, I liked what Beasley did in the first half of the season. I really felt like he stepped up in certain games. There was a big game he had against OKC in particular when KP went down. There was a buzz around, and we was like, all right, how are we going to win this game? And Beasley stepped up, and he was the man. And he heard MVP chants from the Garden, and I felt it. And I felt like, all right, this guy worked his way back in. But the team changed, and the team chemistry has changed pretty much right now. We're in a situation where there's another Moutier here. Jack is not running the team anymore. Trey Burke is now here. Frank Ntilikina is not running the point for that second unit anymore. And Beasley really hasn't found his comfort zone with the first and second unit with the point guard changes. And I feel like that might be a lot of the problem. And he's struggling right now. He's had a couple of good games this week. But I need for him to string some more consistent games together and get that help defense together. Even in the beginning of the season, I felt like his help defense was a lot better. And I think because the coach benched him in the first part of the season, and I think he kind of fought. He fought for those minutes. But he needs to get back to that.
Yeah, he needs to get back to that for sure. All right, Timmy. Let's go to Timmy. Let me pull up Timmy's numbers here. Tim Hardaway Jr., 25 points, 4 rebounds, 2 dimes, 38 minutes tonight, almost 50% from the field, 9 to 10 for free throw, minus 19. Even mixed it up with Ibaka today. Timmy's, I tell you, man, Timmy's fighting out there. Timmy's fighting out there. It's been a frustrating year for him. Been a frustrating year for him with the injuries and the the inconsistency in his play.
Yeah, man.
But, I think he's trying to make the best out of the finish of this season. So, what's your rating of Timmy tonight?
Yo, there's a lot of Timmy hate out here in these streets, man.
Yo, Carlito called us the other day, man. He definitely wasn't feeling Timmy, man.
A lot.
He wasn't feeling Timmy at all.
Nobody. Listen, man, I had, a first podcast when we first signed Timmy. We had an episode called 72, he got $72 million, right? And I was perplexed, like everybody else. The second time I used that word perplexed. But you know what? He's growing on me this season. He has his flaws for sure. He definitely does. His shot selection is still a little up and down. But I love, you know what I love though? I love fighters, man. I think that's why I like Cantor so much too. I like fighters. I like people who's gonna get in your face. I like people who's not gonna back down. I like people who's not scared. And he rises to the occasion. He doesn't always make the right decision, but I just like people who fight, man. Who just give
I like
it
that.
in.
Like I said, I like the fight in him for sure. I would just like to see a bit more consistency in his play. I think we've seen that in the last 2 games. So let's see if we can keep it going. Maybe as the years, progress, he'll show some more growth and maturity in that aspect.
I'm gonna give Tim. I'm trending towards 7 because I'm emotionally attached to what he did today. He didn't make all the right plays. He did not make all the right plays. He had a crazy air ball at the third quarter. I was just like, come on, Tim. But it's weird with Tim. You take the good with the bad because sometimes he takes those shots and they go in. But you can't have – Tim's problem is he tries to have a steady helping of those type of shots. And you can't have a steady helping of those type of shots. You know what I'm saying? You have to kind of get going first. So, it might be high for Tim, but I'm going to say 7.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'll go 6-7. I mean, we still lost at the end of the day, right? So I
Yeah.
mean, we can't get too high on these ratings, but I think in terms of his contribution to the team, what he did out there, I'll give him about a 7. I think that's I think that's a respectable rating for Timmy for respectable play. All right,
Yes.
let's
Spec on the name.
let's go to Moutier. Again, another tale of two halves of Moutier, but he finishes with 13 points, 5 dimes, 3 rebounds tonight, 2 steals, minus 13 on the night. What'd you think of Moutier coming off of a second half surgence in the previous game?
I don't know. He might be missed the third quarter or something. Did he do this damage in the third quarter? I remember
Third quarter he came back alive. He came back alive again.
Yeah. I liked. Let's see. I liked some of the things he did. I want to see more from him the entire game. But I liked. You start to see flashes where, okay, this kid could be good. He has like a nice little when he's going, he can be a little herky-jerky, hesitation, get to the hole. I like the way he's getting to the hole. Consistency, that mid-range game is being more consistent. He's not thinking as much. Man. And he shot well, man. He 6-13, damn near 50%. Like, I feel weird giving out 7s because we lost.
Yeah.
But
I'll give him a 6. I'm still waiting for him to rise up, but I'll give him a 6. Like I said, we lost, and the turnovers is still one of his Achilles heels. But the aggressiveness is there. I want to see him work on his shot this summer, man. Get in the gym, get in Melo's gym with Chris Brinkley. Work on that jump shot, man, because he needs work. His jumper needs a lot of work. But, like I said, I like to see the aggressiveness there. He was aggressive today. And, that's all you could ask for, really.
Right. I guess I'll roll with you, too. I'll give it that the turnovers is always... But he only had one turnover. And he had 5 assists.
Yeah. Not bad.
I'm going to give him a 6.5. I feel like I'm in the middle. All right. Can we do that? Doing that?
Hey, shit. It's all show. You can do whatever, man.
Okay.
Frank, 11 points, 2 dimes for Frank, 2 rebounds, minus 16. 4 for 10 from field goal range. What was your take on Frank today? What would you give Frank?
Let's see, man. Frank was interesting because he studied DeRozan, right? He was studying DeRozan as a 2 guard. And then he ended up guarding DeRozan, and he did pretty well. Now, DeRozan wasn't playing a lot of the game, but the times he did guard DeRozan, he kind of, you could tell he studied them. He stayed down the head fakes, and he challenged the jump shots, and he did pretty well. So I liked him on the defensive end. In general, I've liked Frank on the defensive end. I know after the All-Star break for sure. I really like the aggressiveness today, going to the hole. He made pretty much all his layups except for that block from Ibaka. The mid-range game is a little shaky. I wish a lot of those were in and out, but I like that he's taking those shots. I'm gonna give Frank a 6.
Yeah, I give him about a 5-6. Again, like you said, you want to see a bit more aggressiveness from him out there, but I think he's getting a bit more comfortable each game. You start to see that. I think defensively he's getting after it. I think he's still trying to adjust. He's still trying to adjust. They started him off playing at the point guard role. Now he's switching off to the 2 a little bit more. So like I said, every game you start to see him a bit more comfortable. Let's see that mid-range improve a little bit, and let's see him turn up that aggression a little bit.
I mean, he had 10 shots. Like, how many shots on average is he taking per game? I feel like 10 might be on the higher side for him.
Let's take a look right now. Regular season field goal average. What is this regular field goal average? About 6.
Yeah. So I can
6.
I see the shots. I see the shots going up a little bit more. I like it.
Facts.
Even if he's missing, take the damn shot.
Facts. All right, let's go to a couple off the bench. Most notably, well, first half at least was Trey. You know, obviously we got a little three point guard or 3-guard rotation going on between Trey, Moutier, and Frank. Trey finished with 10 points, 3 dimes. He was minus 16, 5 and 9 from the field, about 50%. He's been battling that wrist injury, as we alluded to in the past live streams. So how would you rate Trey off the bench today?
Trey did well. He did well running the team. You can tell he isn't taking a lot of shots. I feel like he usually takes more shots, and maybe it is because of the wrist thing. I thought maybe it was because of the Beasley thing at first, but maybe it is because of the wrist thing as well. But Trey was all right. He didn't have a usually Trey game, but he shot. I don't know, once you start to shoot around 50%, I can't really bag on you too badly, man. And that's the weird thing about this game. Most of the guys really didn't shoot all that bad. It's really the defensive end really the team defense. The team defense and the transition defense off of misses that really killed us. So there's certain guys who probably weren't as good in the team defensive concept. But so yeah, I'm gonna give Trey. Yeah, man, I'm gonna have to give 6s. I'm gonna have to give pretty much 6s all around, man.
Yeah. I think when you factor in the loss, I mean, can't do much better than a 6 at this point. Much worse. So I go with a 6 for Trey as well. All right, how about KO, man? 8 points, 5 dimes, 7 boards, 3 blocks. Typical KO game. Although he was minus, he did have the highest, the plus minus and minus 22. What you think about KO tonight?
Yo, KO was interesting. This is I don't know if he got tired, because KO came in this game like a bat of hell. You know, Kornet came down and KO was all over the place. He was passing, he was blocking shots, and I was like, yo. So he really picked up the defensive energy for us when he first came in the game. And then the game started to kind of wear, and the Raptors passed us to death. And I felt like he quit a lot of times on that second effort after the first pass by the big man was given. So I felt like I was almost going to give KO a 7 or 8 if he kept going on that direction, but I felt like he kind of lost steam pretty quickly too. But I like, when you look at the stat line though, it looks pretty good. You know, you get 7 rebounds, 5 assists. You know,
yeah,
it's not.
Yeah, stat line looked all right, but like you said, he looked like he kind of lost steam a bit. Listen, when you play against those bigger guys, Valanciunas, Ibaka, and them, you're gonna have a tough time. No matter who we have, you know, they're a top team in the East for a reason. So, like I said, I think KO does what he can. You know, from a big man off the bench, I think he plays his role well. But you know, like I said, tonight he gave you his typical KO stat line, and again, like I say, man, for half of what Cannon is getting, or what he will get in 2 years, I'd rather sign KO to half of that, man, and keep it pushing.
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, now that I had time to really think about it, I want to keep both of them and add Noel. I think that's the direction I want to go to. I want to keep Cantor for that offensive rebounding prowess that we have. It cleans up a lot of mistakes when we are missing. I like KO off the bench. It's going to give you that passing. And
that's a lot of big men, man. You still got KP coming back. You want Kornet to play?
KP. Well, Kornet is interesting, man, because I like Kornet. Give me more time, but I'm not sure. Like when you think of the makeup of the team, when KP is healthy, I'm not sure if there's a role for him. You know what I'm saying? Even though I kind of like him, I just feel like he's kind of a redundant KP a little bit, but not as skilled. I feel like there's still holes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm getting at. Like,
I think you're not ready to let. I think you're not ready to let Canna go, man, and I'm ready to let him go, man. I like him, but he can roll.
Here's the thing: like I'm gonna keep advocating for Cantor because there's nobody who who on the team can replicate what Kansas does?
I'm saying that this team can be built in a different way where you don't need him on the team. I'm just telling you right now. You could, once KP comes back and you get a more athletic center, rebound, block shots, protect the rim, you know what I mean? Protect KP, and you get a bit more firepower on that perimeter, you could make up for Cannon's production. You can make up for that.
We'll see. We'll see what happens when.
We'll see, man.
We'll see when you have to have that scoring low down low. You don't have that right now.
Well, that's true too. But like I said, if you balance it with a bit more offense, especially around the perimeter, I think you can make up for it. All right, let's go around the Twitter sphere and see what's going on. Fan reactions. So Jonathan Macri, one of the guys I follow on Twitter, definitely very insightful. If you're not following Jonathan Macri, make sure you are. He says, if we don't see some Dotson in the last 5 minutes of the game for the Knicks, I'm going to be irrationally upset.
Man, listen, I'm with you, Jonathan.
Yeah, I think we had touched on that, man. It was a bit surprising that, we didn't go with any of the young guys, especially Dotson, especially, what's his name? Troy Williams, down the stretch. What'd you think about that?
Yo, I don't get it, man. I don't. Free Dot. I've been saying Free Dot for like a couple of weeks now. Give that man some burn. There was something that came up last week or so talking about that other teams might be interested in trading him. That'd be so stupid to do at this point, considering that the age of Courtney Lee and what would happen if he left, that hole that would be there if he left. So Free Dot, man, it's just dumb. I don't understand how at this point of the season, with 16 games left, the most minutes this man has played is 15?
Yeah, I especially when the game was getting out of hand, I was waiting to see him come in, even in the first half. But I'm gonna need Perry to get on the phone. Because truth be told, I don't think if Perry wasn't on the phone, Jack still might be playing. So Perry needs to get on that phone one more time. Like, listen, man, give Dot 20 minutes a game at least, man. And how about not benching, man, Troy Williams, who just had his best game as a Knick the game before. Jeff did the same thing with Burke. Yeah. Burke had like a crazy game in Phoenix, and then you didn't see him for a while. And you're like, wait, what? This man just had 18 points or 10 assists or something in Phoenix, and then you don't see no burn after that. That's probably why Noah got in Jeff Hornacek's face, and Jeff ended up pushing him because he had a good game against the Pelicans. And then he see Noah after that, and then 5 minutes of garbage time in Golden State. So I don't know. Sometimes this coaching thing, man, like I said before, the coaching situation, I would like to have some rotations. He's struggling with the rotations for sure. He's struggling. Yes. Like I said, we'll see. It's trash time right now. We'll hope he gets some more guys out there, some of the young guys. At Epic Kells says Luke Kornet has surprised me. I didn't expect him to be as good as he's been. I would definitely agree on that. I think he's come in and he's done more to hold his own down there. Yeah, man. Kornet's done his thing. I felt like he was doing his thing in the Westchester Knicks as well. And like I said, he's not afraid. Maybe, I don't know, he likes the Raptors because he's had a few shots too to play well. He played well the first game he played with us when he was when we played against the Raptors. He played again well tonight against the Raptors, or today. And between those games, not much, but you know what? He's a rookie. He came in the middle of the season. You kind of give him some leeway with things like that. And he's shown some things. I like his shooting acumen. I like that his mind seems quick. Even though I wish he was more athletic, like his lateral movement was a little quicker. He knows what to do mentally. He knows where to slide. He knows where to rotate very instinctively, and I like that about Kornet. Facts. So Chipper Murphy, at Chipper Murphy on Twitter, says, I've never been more on the fence about a Knick as I am about Tim Hardaway Jr. Want to get on board, but I just can't. Yeah, it just go back to what you said, man. It's very mixed. It's very mixed reactions on Timmy, man. Like I said, I take him for what he is, and I hope that he becomes better in terms of his maturity, in terms of his consistency, in terms of his shot selection. And I think if he hones in on those skills, he's gonna be a great asset for this team going forward.
Most definitely. I be thinking John Starks without the defense sometimes. I be thinking that for real.
I just hope, especially in my 30 years of watching these Knicks, every couple years you see a guy come around and you give him that moniker, that nickname, the good so-and-so and a bad so-and-so. You know what I'm saying? We had Tim Thomas. We had the good Tim Thomas, the bad Tim Thomas. We had the good JR, the bad JR. We got the good Beasley, the bad Beasley. These guys that come in have so much potential, and on that best night, they're as good as anybody in the league, and on the worst night, they're as bad as anybody in the league. I just hope Timmy becomes more consistent on this team because, like I said, as of right now, until we get a solid alpha dog, A1, A2, whatever you want to call it, next to KP, Timmy's going to be that guy, for better or for worse.
For sure, man. For sure. We're going to see what's going to happen. Next year is going to be the real telling year because, like I said, I'm gonna judge him personally more harshly next year because he'll have a year starting under his belt. You know what I'm saying? He has come over for Atlanta where he spent his career coming off the bench, working from the G League, and now getting starters minutes with starters pay. So it is a new kind of atmosphere for Timmy right now. Hopefully he grows into his new role and becomes more consistent and becomes a leader. And you know what? And stop helping so much off corner threes.
Yeah. Facts, man. Facts. But, yeah, I think Timmy will be all right, man. I think Timmy will be all right. All right, man. Let's keep it rolling to the draft. And first and foremost, this guy Mikal Bridges, man. He's been the guy that many have linked to the Knicks or within that range of where the Knicks could potentially be picking. Right. If we consider we get between 7 and 9 or whatever the case may be. This kid's stock is steadily rising, man. He's becoming a star. He's becoming a star, man. We seen him last night in the Big East tournament, winning that game against Providence in overtime, winning Big East tournament most outstanding player, 25 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds last night in the win against Providence. The more and more he becomes on that spotlight, especially with March Madness coming up, this kid's stock is going to rise up, man. What do you think about Bridges?
Bridges is coming together, man. His stock is rising. They call him the next Kawhi Leonard light or something like that. I don't know, but he seems to have like a nice little high motor. They said his 3-point shooting wasn't good, but it seems like that's even improving. Yeah. And it's on.
He's out there shooting the 3 like KD out there.
Yeah, man. And that was the knock, right? The knock was he couldn't shoot threes, but now he's shooting threes, man. So I'm liking Mikal, man. He's playing too well for me. He needs to let up. He needs to shoot some bricks.
Yo, facts, man, facts. But
we trying to build a super team, man. If you playing too well, we're not gonna be able to draft you, bro. Come on, ease up on the gas, man.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. So let's see. Go ahead.
I mean, maybe Miles will still be available, but
yeah, we'll see. We'll get to see a bit more Miles. Selection Sundays tonight. This is one of the best Sundays of the year. Selection Sundays tonight. So we'll see where they end up and see what brackets, see what regions they end up. Both Michigan State and Villanova. So it'll be something to watch, man. Obviously, I'll be watching pretty closely as the tournament progresses. So let's go to Collin Sexton, man. He's a guy that some people I've seen a lot of mixed reviews on in Collin Sexton. SEC tournament, he averaged about 26.3 points per game, 3 dimes, 5 rebounds. Obviously, they lost to Kentucky yesterday, but this kid has surprised a lot of people, man. What's your take on Collin Sexton?
Word. First of all, most people on IG Live, hit me up on YouTube. We got to be doing a live show on YouTube. So you talking about Collin Sexton. We talking about the draft prospects, and we doing the post game for the people on IG Live. Check us out right there.
Shout out to everybody on IG
Word.
Live.
Y'all on YouTube Live right now. Everybody there. All right. So Collin Sexton, man, he's a good guy, man. I like him. I like his acumen. I like the fact that he's a 4.0 student. I like the fact that he seems like he's a perfectionist, and it just seems like he can carry a team if he wanted to. I caught that game yesterday, Alabama game yesterday. I just felt like if he had more talent around him, he might have been able to do a little bit more. And even when the team was kind of, there was kind of pressuring him, that the whole defense was centered around stopping him, and he would still be able to get his. So I like it. I like him a lot. Now we have an abundance at point guard right now, so picking him might be a little bit tricky with Frank and Moutier and Burke. And let's not forget about Ron Baker, shot maker, who's sitting there with a bad shoulder.
About Ron, sitting on a bag of millions as well. So
don't forget about Ron. He finds his way somehow, some way. Every time in the rotation, you think he's gone, but he's not.
Facts.
He's a knack.
It's gonna be a tough call. I mean, a lot of people say, why would we draft this kid? But I mean, we'll see if Alabama makes it to the dance. We'll get to see a little bit more of him. But, I like his fight. I like his aggressiveness. I like his decision making. He's a gamer. That's one thing about this kid. He's a gamer. It'll definitely make things a bit more difficult if he was drafted by the Knicks. But like I said, we're a long way from the lottery. Let's see what happens from here on out. As these guys establish themselves, as the lottery comes, and we know exactly where we're gonna pick. Last guy within that range who plays today against Tennessee is Kevin Knox. Kevin Knox out of Kentucky is a interesting guy. Right now, averaging 13 points, 5 rebounds, 1 block in the SEC tournament. He's a Kentucky guy. That's the NBA draft camp, if you want to call it that. Calipari's going to have them guys playing, and I think, he's an interesting guy. I'm not sure if he could be, the impact player that we're looking for on this team, but I think he's definitely an interesting guy. What's your take on Kevin Knox? You watched him last night.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really get – I don't know if maybe he disappeared from me. I looked up and he had 11 points, and I was like, oh, where did that come from? Mm-hmm. I'm not sure how much of an impact he had in the game. I saw he had like a nice little pull-up jumper, and then he had like a 3-point shot when the game was kind of already done. So I haven't really made up my mind on Knox as of yet. I'm gonna keep doing my homework on him. But his shot seemed okay yesterday, but I'm not high or low. I'm just kind of just scoping him out right now.
Facts. All right, man, let's take it to the wrap up with the Tankathon. So right now in the Tankathon, we are still at the 9th slot with this loss. 7 straight losses. Still in the 9th spot. One game back of the Bulls. We got the Bulls and the Hawks playing right now, going into the half. I think it's about a tie game. It's going to be a long battle. It's going to be a long battle, man. Right now, we still trying to catch the Bulls. We play Dallas coming up on Tuesday.
Word.
Let's see what happens. You got the showdown between Frank and Dennis Smith, as a side story.
Yeah, we like that.
2.5 games behind Dallas, Sacramento, and Brooklyn. So, and we about 3 games in back of the Hawks. So, let's see, man. We still staggering at that 9th slot, man. Let's see what happens.
Man, listen, we just got to play for the ping pong balls, man. I don't think we're going to be moving.
Yeah, I don't see it, man. I don't see it. So, let's say let's hope Adam Silver and them guys freeze them envelopes, man, and give us some glory, man. We got to get back to glory. Got to get back to glory, man.
Please. Ping pong guys, help us out.
Yo, for real, man. But that's the takeaways from the game today. Some of our thoughts. March Madness coming up, gonna be a good
one. Can't wait.
Tuesday night, Knicks Mavericks at the Garden. We'll be back on post game live. Hopefully, take some calls, some chats. Let us know, man. Let us know your thoughts on the game. Yo, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything. If you following on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, we everywhere, man. Like we say, it's everywhere you are. So if you follow, make sure you follow our respective accounts. And yeah, man, gonna go watch some Tiger Woods, man. Hopefully Tiger's back. So about to
Word.
go check this golf and wrap up a beautiful Sunday. Yo, Jay
Word.
Ellis.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to record a podcast after this. No rest for the weary. So check out Nick of Time podcast as well, or the Nick of Time show. I'll be talking with my guys there. And yeah, follow the YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all that. We everywhere.
Word. Appreciate the support, man. Everybody have a good and productive week. Peace.
Later.